So good morning. I've been off and on this platform, and it has came to my attention that it is time for me to use my platform for what God has called me to use it for. And that is to speak on domestic violence, homelessness, hurting, the pain that women go through behind closed doors. And I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody thinks about me. This is me and my natural. This is me doing what God told me to do. And that's to share my truth. And there's nobody out there that hates the truth but those that are telling the lie. So this is my truth and this is my story. And my story is to help someone else that's going through the situation that probably I've already been through, or they going through it, but I've been through it. And this first story I'm going to tell you because I've been through it basically all my life, from family members to men I've dated, from my own children, the abuse, the hurt, the pain, the anguish. And if you don't want to listen to it or hear it, get off my platform. I mean, it's not about you. It's about what God wants me to tell people, to help them heal their souls and to help them come out of the dark into the marvelous light that He is shining. So I don't care about what you think about me. You can look at me. Oh, she looked bad. Whatever. I don't care. My whole point is I don't give a damn. This is my truth, and I'm going to tell it. This platform is going to tell my truth, and I'm here to tell my story to help others. And I'm going to start with this story. I lived in another state from what I live in now. And I had met this man. And I was a single parent. And at the time I had 5 children. I've had children. I started having children when I was 16. And but that's another story. And I had moved to another city out of the state I was born and raised in to because I met a man who wanted to marry me even with my 5 children. And he wanted to marry me, and he had 2 children he had custody of. And I ended up leaving the city that I was in. And when I moved to the city that we were in, this man after 2 weeks of me being there, he took me about an hour around the city to the job I had applied for. He drove an hour out of the city back around, about basically 45 minutes to where I had applied for a job. Known to me, I didn't know the city because I had just moved there and didn't know nothing about the city, never been there before in my life. So didn't know that the job was only 15 to 20 minutes down the street, a 15 to 20 minute drive from the house. But he had took me 45 minutes around the city so that he can watch me pull up, get there, sit there, and be there. I guess because he was so jealous and thought I was going to meet another man or something, that I had got this job. And it was a nice job. It was a government job, working for the city, delivering mail. And, well, as I started driving myself to this job every day and everything, I got to this job, and I had to be there from 9 to 5. It was a 9 to 5 job, but I got there about 8 o'clock. I always left an hour early, got there, went in, loaded up my truck, put my other stuff, where it's supposed to go, and then left for the day and took my route. One day, I got off of work about 8 o'clock in the evening because the route was long, and it was during the holidays, and the route was long, and this man thought because I worked at the post office that I was supposed to get off at 5 o'clock when the other employees got off work. But by me being a mail carrier, you don't get off till the mail is delivered. If you've ever delivered mail, you don't get home till the mail is delivered. Well, I went and I went and delivered this mail, and I got off about 8 o'clock. And when I got home, this man just started beating me up and fighting me, and I didn't know what was going on because I had just been working all day. And he put my head, knocked it, into the sheetrock of the wall and put a hole in the sheetrock of the wall. That's how hard he pushed my head into the wall. It made my head print in the wall and broke the sheetrock. And I called the police and everything. And me and this man had only been married for about 4 months. Wasn't even a good 6 months. And when he put my head through the sheetrock wall, I called the police and everything. And yes, I did call the police because that was abuse. And my son had got a big knife and had it in his pants and everything. Was going to do something to the man, and his children and everything were trying to fight me and stuff. And it was just a big old mess. And the police came and they said, "Ma'am, do you want to leave?" And I said, "I don't have nowhere to go. I just moved here." He said, "Well, if you want to leave, you need to leave now." And I told the officer, I said, "I don't know nobody except where my kids go to school. Some of their friends, I know a couple of my children's friends, mother and fathers. I can call them and see if I can go to their house." So I didn't know what the urgency was of me leaving so fast, because this officer told me that if I didn't get out, I wouldn't get out if I stayed another night there. So I ended up going to one of my children's schoolmates' house. Me and my children went to their classmates' house. They brought us in. They helped us, they helped us, and they thank God for them, and I praise God for them today. Wherever they are, we didn't keep in touch and everything. After everything happened, we didn't keep in touch, but they did help me, and it was God that put them in my path. Because what the officer told me next was a real surprise. He said that I was married to the mayor's son, and that the mayor's son was outside of the marriage of the woman he was with. It was through a another situation, I don't understand. Well, it was through another situation, but it was the mayor's son. However it went, he was still the mayor's son. But I ended up leaving after he told me that. Went up staying with the friends, and we stayed there. And after about a week passed, the house was shot up 17 times. The way the house was shot up, there was 3 doors: a side door, a front door, and a door from the bedroom in the house on a corner lot. One door led to the front door led to the living room. The side door led through the den and the washroom, and the other door led from the friend's bedroom door. So I guess this person was sitting around watching us as we go in and out this house. So they figured, I guess, the front door was the side door where the den and the washroom was. And that's the side of the house that got shot up. Known to be, we were on the other side of the house. If it had not been for us being on that side of the house, we wouldn't be here today. So after the house got shot up, I knew it was the person that I had married because he had took the vehicle. The vehicle was gone. but the police never did say anything. We never heard nothing. He never got any repercussions from it. I never heard anything back from it. All I know is that me and my children ended up going to the friend's brother's house, and we stayed there for about another week until they fixed their house. And then we found the apartment. They helped us get an apartment, and we left and ended up getting an apartment in a prestigious part of where we was. And I lived in a condominium, and I still worked at the post office. And basically, that was the end of that story. Until a lot of more things happened with that person trying to abuse me in other situations where he tried to use his dad being who he was to manipulate and use the situation. So that's another story in itself, because his dad was the mayor, and that's another story in itself. But that's the end of this story, and I ended up leaving that marriage, getting it annulled, because this person put my head through a wall of sheetrock and it left a print. And that's just one phase of abuse I went through. And with the shooting up the house, it could have been worse if we would have been on the opposite side of the house, but God was with us. And I thank God for the people that God put in my life at that time to help me and to secure us from the fatalities we could have went through. So, if this story has helped you in any kind of way, and if you are going through abuse or going through a situation and you don't have nobody help you to get out of, domestic violence hotline is always open. There's all kinds of places you can call, but domestic violence hotline is always open. So I wanted to say thank you for listening to my story. It's a true story, and I left that abusive situation, and I tried to get help and counseling. And like I said, when I did go to that situation, the person that I was fleeing from was the mayor's son. So that caused more problems because of the authority and power that he thought he had over my life. But like I said, that's another story. But we'll get to that another time. And if this story has helped you in any kind of way, if it has dropped a diamond in any kind of way for you to know that there's some kind of help you can at least try to go get, or what you need to do in a situation like that. I don't want to give out too much information, because people listen and they take things the wrong way, and they try to use and manipulate what you say. But domestic violence hotline is there for people that need it. Have a good day. Be blessed. And this is a story that is a true story. And if you need help, domestic violence hotline is there. Have a blessed day in the Lord, and be blessed. There will be a number at the end of the screen for domestic violence. Have a good day.